Coming up on today's episode, after doing a rice-only Mary's Mini for 10 days, I am ready to eat anything. And one of the things I miss the most is one pot pasta. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey. We're a whole foods, vegan cooking channel. We do some product reviews. We do some DIY stuff because I'm cheap and I like to do things myself. And sometimes we have some episodes with Tim. If you like what you hear so far, please hit that like button. Show us some love. And please think about subscribing and becoming part of the Plant-Based Dads family. We do have a Patreon page set up. There's a link below the video if you're interested in joining us. Patreon members give us monthly support that enables us to put the show together and bring it to you every week. There's a lot involved with filming around my regular schedule and editing and you know, purchasing the products and all that stuff. So Patreon members are able to help us get that out to you. Plus, Patreon members do get the videos before they go out to the YouTube public, which is kind of nice also. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon member, becoming part of the team, there's a link below the video. We would love to have you. If you've been following the show for a while, you know that I'm doing the Starch Solution. The Starch Solution is a way of eating made popular by Dr. John McDougall. And the way it works is that you eat high-carb, low-fat foods, and you lose weight and you get your health back. It's all whole food plant-based. So when I'm saying high carbs, it's like potatoes and beans and oats and that sort of thing. And low fat, you limit avocados and nuts and seeds, and you completely eliminate oil and anything processed. It's worked for me. I've lost 35 pounds on this, and every time I say that number, it's just so hard to believe. I've still got about 22 pounds to go, but I absolutely love being able to eat all my favorite foods, right? Not being afraid of carbs like you are on some of those other crazy diets, and not having to count calories or points or any of that stuff. I kind of just eat what I like, and I lose the weight, and it's amazing. If you're doing the Starch Solution, then the best place to get support is in our Facebook group, Plant-Based Dads, Starch Solution Enthusiasts. There's a picture right here. It is thousands, like 6,000, 7,000 people, like a crazy amount, right? Just doing the Starch Solution with us. There are people posting photos of what they're eating, sharing recipes. There are novices, there are experts, people just starting out, people who've like reversed all of their illnesses with this. Like it's a huge mix of different people, just all sharing their information. It's absolutely an amazing place to be inspired or to inspire others if you want to be a mentor. I absolutely recommend it. One of the things we do in the group is we do these 21-day challenges. And starting today, our next challenge is happening. It's the April 50-50 Plate 21-Day Challenge. It goes from now and through whatever 21 days is from now. And what we're doing is the 50-50 Plate, and we're posting our photos, we're cheering each other on, we're committing to some extra water and to getting a little movement, even if that's walking. So if you've been waiting for an opportunity to jump on board with the Starch Solution or even with just whole food plant-based eating, this is probably a good time. 21 days, we're in the middle of the year already. If you made a commitment in January to get back on track and you haven't done it, it's not too late. You can still have a winning year if you start now. Join us. I'm horrible at doing stuff like this by myself. I'm so much stronger when you're with me. That's going to be the case for you too. You're not alone. You've got 6,000, 7,000 people doing it with you. Check out our Facebook group. Come on board. We'd love to have you. In the last video, we talked about HydroJug. I'm really infatuated with these things. There's a picture right here of some of the new ones that just came out. I love how big they are, and the big mouth that comes on it, and I can just open that up and start drinking. Not like you're drinking out of a bottle and the bottle's like starting to bent up while you're drinking. None of that stuff. Plus there's straws and other accessories and some nice carriers. If you're interested in some HydroJug action, there's a link below the video, and they are offering our subscribers 10% off. So check below the video for that. There'll be a coupon code and a link for HydroJug. All right, in today's video, I'm going to show you another day of what I eat in a day. I had just came off the Mary's Mini, right, where I was eating rice like every day for 10 days, and I was kind of like, I'm so done with rice. So I just wanted, something else. So as we go through the day, you'll see I'm having just a simple breakfast. a very simple lunch, a very simple starch and non-starch lunch. And then for dinner, I'm making one of my favorite things I've been making lately, although I haven't made it for 10 days because of the Mary's Mini, but I'm making a one-pot pasta that I absolutely love. We've been eating this for about a year, and it just all comes together in one shot. And it's one of those meals that we've talked about this before that Tim likes to take to work, because when he goes to work, he wants everything in one pot. He wants a bowl with his 50-50 in it. He doesn't want like a section of like potatoes and then a section of broccoli. He wants it all in one shot, so we can just open it up, eat it all, and be done with it, because he has like very little time to eat. So these one-pot meals are really important at our house for food prepping and having him successful for the week. I'm at home all day. I can eat whatever I want, but I don't have to worry about, not dirtying plates and taking too much time, but he does. So if that's your situation, if you need like one bowl meals, one-pot meals, you're really gonna enjoy this one-pot pasta. I had a lot of fun with the foods I made. I can't wait to show you what I've done. Let's get to the food. For breakfast, I'm starting with a Dragonfruit smoothie. It's my latest thing. I absolutely love Dragonfruit. I'm gonna start by adding one banana, drop it into the blender. If you have a frozen banana, that would be better, but I didn't have that. Next, I'm adding one of these little packets of Dragonfruit. I get these from Costco in a bag. There's a bunch of them in the bag, and I just drop one of these in. You can also just use 3 to 4 ounces of Dragonfruit if you have, if you have it fresh, or if you don't have it in these little packets. These packets are ready to go. They're smoothie ready. Then I'm dropping in a half a cup of frozen strawberries. Next, I'm putting in a half a cup of frozen pineapple. And then I'm putting in a little bit of fresh lemon juice. Mine are frozen into cubes. Next, I'm adding a cup of filtered water. I'm actually doing 2 half cups here. And then I'm gonna put in some of these power greens that I have from Costco just to get some greens in there. Now I'm gonna put the cover on and let it start blending. I want to get it to a nice smoothie consistency. I took the cover off here so you could see it blending, and I think it's ready to go. I'm gonna pour it into a nice little mason jar here that I could drink it out of. And you can see here it's nice and thick. And then I'm gonna top it off with some fresh blueberries. And I'm also adding a sprinkle of unsweetened coconut on it for color. Next, I'll slip in a straw, and there you have it, a beautiful Dragonfruit smoothie. I am so ready for this. For lunch, I'm gonna have some sweet potatoes. I'm using my air fryer and preheating it to 390 degrees. As soon as it's ready, I'm gonna open it up and drop in here 4 sweet potatoes, but whatever you can fit in. And then I'm gonna cook those on 390 for 15 minutes. I'm gonna do that and then flip them and then cook them another 15 minutes. So to start with, 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes is up, I'm gonna open up the air fryer and just use some forks to kind of rotate these potatoes just to give them a little turn, and you can see they're starting to brown up here nicely. I did not poke holes in my sweet potatoes. And then I'm gonna put them back in the air fryer. I'm gonna reset the air fryer for another 15 minutes and let it go. After that's done, I'm gonna open the air fryer and use a tongs to take them out. They're nice and brown and they're starting to caramelize. You can see they're done. Now I'm gonna take the skins off the potato. These things are very hot. You should probably wait for them to cool off, but I was starving. So I use a fork to kind of rip it, and then I kind of pull the skin off as I go. Sometimes it leaves a little bit of the potato in the skin, so I'll use a fork to pull it off. But I'm just gonna go through these one by one and get the skins off all the potatoes until I have all the potato meat out of the potatoes. Now I'm just kind of squishing it with the fork just to kind of get it ready for the meal. And you can see the color there is absolutely beautiful. Next, I'm going to take one of these packets of organic broccoli florets I get from Costco. It's a big bag of 4 of these bags. And just throw them in the microwave. I microwave these for 7 minutes and they're ready to go. Once they're done, I put them in a strainer to get out any extra water from the bag. And then here I'm just going to use a pair of tongs and place some of them right next to the sweet potato. Next, I'm going to season the broccoli. I start with this chopped onion. It's just dried onion chopped up that I get from Costco. So I'm going to sprinkle some of that on here just to give me some flavor. Next, I'm going to top this with some garlic salt too. I throw garlic salt on everything, so this is a great place for this. Next, I'm going to add some sesame seeds. So I'm going to sprinkle some of that on there too. And then I've got some sriracha here, so I'm going to sprinkle that over everything. And you can see here I've got a beautiful plate of sweet potatoes and seasoned broccoli. This is the simplest form of starch and non-starches, and it's still one of my favorites. For dinner, we're having a one-pot pasta. I'm going to start with the cold pot of pasta and dump in the dry pasta. No, this pasta is not cooked. It's just the dry pasta. I know it's crazy. Just go with me. Next, I'm going to drop in a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes. After that, I'm going to put in 8 ounces of tomato paste. This is a 6-ounce can. I used everything here and I used part of another can. Next, I'm putting in a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, and a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. Next, I'm adding 2 cups of filtered water to the pan, and I'm just gonna mix this up. Guys, I had a problem with this, and you'll see as we go through. This pot was way too small, but my next size pot up got damaged, and I don't have the size I need, so I kinda had to make do with this, but you'll see me struggle for the rest of this video with this. Next, I turned on my heat to bring it to a boil. You can see here it's starting to boil. I kept mixing this up every couple of minutes so the pasta didn't burn, so you don't wanna let it burn. Keep mixing it up. Now that it's boiling, I'm gonna put the cover back on, turn it down to low, and let it simmer for 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna taste it. Once it gets close to al dente, I wanna dump in my vegetables. And now I'm throwing in a bag of frozen broccoli, just like I used for the sweet potatoes. And you can see here, guys, that pot is getting really tight. Like, there's not a lot of room. I'm gonna start mixing this up, but it's like barely staying in the pot. It's gonna start going out of the pot. I needed a much bigger pot. I'm gonna put the cover on this and let it cook for about 10 minutes. After that, I'm gonna take the cover off. I'm gonna keep mixing the broccoli and the pasta together, and then I'm gonna taste it and make sure the broccoli isn't cold or raw still. It should be cooked. If it's not, then you wanna let it cook for a few more minutes. You can see here I'm tasting the pasta to make sure that that's coming along also. Now they're almost done, I'm gonna throw in some frozen peas. I wanna throw these in at the very end because they're gonna cook in just like a minute. All they have to do is thaw out because they're ready to eat as they are. So I'm gonna throw in some frozen peas, and I'm gonna mix all that together. Again, there's barely any room in this pot, but I gotta somehow get the peas into the hot pasta so they defrost real quick. And then I'm just gonna put the cover on and let it cook for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, not very long. Then I'm gonna take the cover off. You can see it's still simmering and it looks really good at this point, right? But wait, there's still more. I'm gonna add, I know it's crazy, there's no room in here, but I'm gonna add a whole lot of those super greens that I used for breakfast. I had still more in the bag. So again, I needed a much bigger pot. I'm just gonna put those in there and hope they wilt. Okay, after about a minute, I take the cover off and you can see they're starting to wilt, right? They're doing what they're supposed to do, but there's just not enough room. They're just falling out. So now I've got a pair of tongs that I'm wrestling with, right? Just to try to get all this in. And you can see here, it's kind of come together. I'm gonna add some nooch on top, a full tablespoon, and mix that in. I'm just gonna use my tongs to kind of blend it all together. Then I'm gonna put the cover back on it and let it cook for maybe a minute or 2. And you can see here, I'm gonna take the cover off, it looks ready. It's absolutely beautiful. The coloring is amazing. Everything's kind of wilted down and cooked. Somehow it's all still in that pot. I don't know how that happened, but I'm happy about that. I'm just gonna kind of mix it up one more time. Really, I should have threw this in a bowl and mixed it all up in a bowl to make sure I get everything combined well. But I mean, I wanted it all to be in this pot, you know, so you could see what it looked like. So I just kind of struggled with it to make it happen in this pot. And there you have it, guys. An absolutely beautiful one-pot meal of pasta and veggies. And it's absolutely delicious. Honey boo boo, dinner's ready. So what did you think? The pasta is really good. It's one of our favorite meals and my whole family loves it. All right, that's our video for today. Please hit that like button. Show us some love. What's not to like? If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, click on the bell, and you'll get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Monday. If there's a DIY video, that'll be on Wednesday. And if there's anything with Tim, baking with Tim, fermenting with Tim, sprouting with Tim, that'll be on Saturday. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Let me know, are you doing the Starch Solution with me? You know, I'm much stronger when I do this stuff with you guys. By myself, I can do some things, but with you, I can do anything. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.